fluid mechanics and fluid machines. Now today we are going to start the fluid and fluid properties. So yesterday we have come across the syllabus of the subject, and we know that there are two sections, okay, and each section is having four chapters. The first section is dealing about fluid mechanics, okay, and second section is dealing with fluid machineries. So fluid machineries include turbines and pumps, okay. So before going for the lecture, so I want to give some instructions. So last semester I was little bit casual about your attendance, okay, but this semester I think attendance I am going to record every lecture, and those students are in defaulter, definitely these names will be communicated to the HODs. So, and again I am requesting that within first 10 minutes everybody have to join, and continuously 1 hour or whatever the 2 hours we are conducting session, throughout the session everybody should be present. So attendance should be is a very important during our lectures. So before going for the syllabus directly, so as a first practical also there, and without understanding the fluid properties, it is very difficult to understand the entire subject. So I have decided that today we will conduct a lecture on the fluid and fluid properties. So already we have discussed about this fluid mechanics branch, about the fluid mechanics. So fluid mechanics is a related division of applied mechanics. But applied mechanics dealing with solid as well as what liquids. Okay, all forces. But in fluid mechanics, the forces is only related to fluid, that is liquids and gases. So fluid mechanics is a division in applied mechanics related to the behavior of liquid, means fluid or gas, which is either in rest or in motion. So when we are considering the forces observed, the study related to a fluid in rest or stationary is referred as fluid statics branch. Otherwise, it is referred as fluid dynamics. But in fluid dynamics, we are considering both, that is motion of the fluid particles as well as here we are going to consider the forces. But in between static and dynamics, one branch is there, that is called as anybody of you can be unmuted.
Kinematics.
Kinematics. So kinematics is a branch. Here you can what is details about kinematics? Details of kinematics. It is a branch
Motion of
of,
fluids without consideration of force.
okay, very good. Motion of the fluids, that is the velocity and acceleration of the fluid, without considering the cause for the motion, that is forces. Okay. Then fluid we have defined yesterday. What is fluid? Fluid can be defined as substance which can deform continuously when being subjected to a shear stress at any magnitude. If small magnitude of shear stress is also applied, then fluids deform continuously. In other words, it can flow continuously as a result of shearing action, and this includes gases or liquids and gases. Then we know that solids cannot deform. Okay. Then liquids bonding atoms we have discussed about. Okay. And gaseous molecules are very much away from each other. Okay. And then whatever the liquid and gases, they will take the shape whatever the container is having. So here we will not then will not invest our more time on this. So solids having proper shape, fixed volume. Liquids shape of the, it is having the shape of the container. Okay. And gases also shape of the container, volume of container. And so volume of gases and liquids here, uh, liquids volume is fixed, gases volume is variable. Okay. Then fluid is a substance that flow, we have discussed. If fluid is at rest, we know that forces on it are in balance. Okay. Then a gas is a fluid that is easily compressed. It fills any vessel. So gases are considered as compressible fluids, and their liquids are considered as incompressible fluids. Liquid is a fluid which is harder to compress, so it is not very difficult to compress the liquids, and therefore liquids are the fluids which is harder to compress. A given mass of liquid will occupy a fixed volume irrespective of the size of the container. A free surface is formed as a boundary between a liquid and a gas above it. So gas means if the free surface is there, if we take the water in a vessel, so previous slide, here it is going to be uh, the free liquid is there, and above that liquid atmospheric air is there. Air we can consider as a gas, and this is as a fluid. So in at the boundary of interface between liquid and the gas, always there is a free surface. Okay, so free surface is formed as a boundary between a liquid and gas above it. Then fluid properties. Okay, now before that, fluids are classified into these categories. So many categories are there, but some important categories I am dealing with here. So first is there, it is ideal fluid and real fluid. Ideal fluid means what? Now the fluid which is not having any kind of viscosity, that fluid we call it as a ideal fluid. Means fluid which is having no viscosity. But in the universe or in the world, there is no fluid which is having zero viscosity. All fluid possess some viscosity. But at some extent, water and air were considering as a ideal fluid because here their viscosity is minimum. Okay, so ideal fluid is water or air because, and but definition is there that viscosity should be zero ideally. It is having no resistance for the flow. Viscosity means what? Afterwards we are going to study. Viscosity means nothing but resistance for flow. So if any fluid is having no resistance for the flow, that fluid is called as ideal fluid. And another fluid is there, it is called as real fluid. Real fluid means all the fluids which possess viscosity. All the fluids are having viscosity, so these fluids are called as real fluids. For example, here any other than water, if you are water we are considering as ideal fluid, air, then other fluids are there, oil, then petrol, diesel. Okay, all these fluids will be considered as your real fluids. Then another category of fluid is there, it is Newtonian fluid and non-Newtonian fluid. So afterwards we are going to see study the Newton's law of viscosity. Okay, and Newton's law of viscosity, when those fluids, one law is there, it is called as Newton's law of viscosity, and those fluids will possess the or obey the Newton's law of viscosity are called as Newtonian fluids. Remember that the fluids which obey the Newton's law of viscosity are called as Newtonian fluids. And those fluids like our mud, cream, okay, gum, honey, so these fluids are considered as not obeying the Newton's law of viscosity. So these are called as non-Newtonian fluids. Okay, and then another I have told compressible and incompressible. The compressible means what? The fluids which here can be compressed, means what? Whose volume can be changed. So that fluids are called as compressible fluid. An example is all the gaseous fluids are there. These are comes under the category of compressible fluids. And another category is there. It is called as what? Incompressible fluids. So what are the incompressible fluids? So those fluids whose volume is fixed. For example, liquids. Earlier slide we have seen that liquids volume is fixed. So the fluids which is having, which cannot be compressed, whose volume cannot be changed after application of forces, so that fluids are called as incompressible fluids. So we are having compressible fluids and another is incompressible fluids. Then here I have told that Newton's law of viscosity. So here one is concept is a du by dy. Okay, so du by dy is there. Du by dy represents strain. Any problem? Du by dy. Hello.
हाँ सर, ते न्यूटन फ्लूइड and non-Newtonian fluid अजून एकदा explain करा की सर.
Okay, so Newtonian fluid means what? One law is there. Afterwards we are going to see that law. So it will come afterwards. So one law is there. It is called as Newton's law of viscosity. It is called what? Newton's law of viscosity. The fluids which obey the Newton's law of viscosity are called as simply Newtonian fluids. For example, whatever the fluids we coming across, water, air, diesel, petrol. So these fluids comes under the category of Newtonian fluids. And those fluids are there which cannot obey Newton's law of viscosity. So those fluids are called as non-Newtonian fluids. So non-Newtonian fluids means what? Example is mud, like that semi-solid category fluids are there. Okay, mud, cream, honey, where viscosity is more, bonding of that particular fluid particle is more. So that fluids are called as non-Newtonian fluids. So the viscosity of the fluids which is minimum or less, so that fluids comes under the category of Newtonian fluids. Okay. So what is Newton's law of viscosity? The shear stress is directly proportional to shear strain. So here shear stress is directly proportional to shear strain. So that is law is there. So that fluids are called that law whichever the fluid is obeying, that are called as Newtonian fluids. And the law which cannot be obeyed by such some fluids, so these are coming under the category of non-Newtonian fluids. Okay. So now then, shear stress and
Thank you.
understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 100.
Okay. So we are having the graph here, shear stress and shear strain. So du by dy represent one shear strain. Okay, strain, it is representing strain. So the fluids which is having shear stress is directly proportional to shear strain. So these having this kind of slopes going from, so these fluids comes under the category of Newtonian fluids. Okay. So, and the fluids which cannot obey that, they are not directly proportional. So this is the graph representation of directly proportional. Okay. And where the fluids shear stress is not directly proportional to shear strain, the graph is like the curvature. So these comes under the category of here Newtonian fluids. So another fluid is there, ideal plastic. Ideal plastic means what? Whenever we apply some forces, okay, then permanent deformation occurs. म्हणजे आपण जर प्लास्टिकवर एखादा काय जर फोर्स अप्लाय केला, दगड मारला, तर it is not coming, elastic deformation is not there. It is remaining as a permanent deformation. So these are comes under the category of what? Ideal plastic. Okay. And ideal fluid means what? Not possessing viscosity. So for that, tau upon du by dy is equal to 0. So shear strain is equal to what? Completely 0. Though apply the forces, shear forces, stress, but there will no change in the volume. So strain is going to be what? 0. So these will possess the horizontal X line. Okay, and this will be possessed by ideal here elastic solid or plastic fluids. Okay, so this is going to be the categorization. So here ideal fluid, the fluid in which there is no friction, it is inviscid, its viscosity is 0. So that fluids we are considering as a ideal fluid. The internal forces at any section within it are always normal to the section, even during motion. So these forces are purely pressure forces. So ideal fluids possessing only kind of pressure forces, they are not having any kind of viscous forces. But real fluids possess viscous forces as well as here pressure forces. But ideal fluids only possessing pressure forces, not other than pressure forces. That is, viscous forces are 0 in case of ideal fluids. Then in real fluids, either liquid or gas, tangential or shearing forces are developed always whenever there is a motion relative to a body, thus creating a fluid friction because these forces oppose the motion of the one particle past another. And the frictional forces give rise to a fluid property is called as viscosity. Okay, so this is called as what? Viscosity. And the fluids which possess viscosity are called as real fluids. Okay. So real fluids will possess viscosity. Okay, and their resistance for the flow is there considerable. Then non-Newtonian fluids. So non-Newtonian fluids are relatively uncommon in the engineering use. Examples are paints, printer ink, gels, emulsions, sludges, slurries, certain plastics, or again mud. Okay, slurries means mud in our case. Then creams are there. Okay, toothpaste is there. It comes under the non-Newton category. So non-Newton means what? So we will use fluids that obey Newton's equation, is Newton's law of viscosity under normal circumstances. So these fluids will not obey the Newton's law of viscosity and comes under the category of non-Newton fluids. Okay. Then Newtonian category is there. It is going to be the fluids which obey Newton's law of viscosity or Newton's equation, that is shear stress is directly proportional to shear strain. This comes under the category of Newtonian fluids. Then here when we are studying this particular subject, at least we should know dimensions. Already you are knowing. So length is having SI unit meter, mass kilogram, time second, force is Newton, okay, and temperature is Kelvin. So this is, then work is having work and energy. SI unit will be joule, because to solve numerical, these units are very much important. So everybody know power is equal to watt, and watt is equal to joule per second. So work done per unit time is called as power. Okay, so it is going to be joule per second. So prefixes, so mega means what? 10 raised to 6. So centimeter means here giga means 10 raised to 9, kilo means 10 raised to 3, micro means 10 raised to 6 minus 6, milli means 10 raised to minus 3, centi already you are knowing. Okay, but still it revision is required. Work is having unit, work and energy is having SI unit is joule, and joule is nothing but Newton per meter. If you apply the fundamental units, now afterwards in the dimension analysis we are going to give focus on two types of units. One is dimensional, here one is primary or fundamental units, and another is secondary or derived units. So work and energy, joule, Newton meter. Newton means F is equal to m n kg meter per second square into meter. So fundamental units of joule is coming as kg meter square, kg into meter square per second square. So any derived unit we can write in terms of fundamental units. So that we will take afterwards in the unit dimension analysis. But now at least you should know the units of here main factor. Force is Newton. Newton means what? Newton here means what? F into m means kg F. Okay. So temperature is Kelvin. Okay. Then system and international unit, power is having unit joule per second. Then density, very important property. Now henceforth these properties are very much important. So one is density. Density means what? It is mass per unit volume. Okay, density. So density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. And mercury mass per unit volume. So density means it is denoted by rho. Okay. Water density is, everybody henceforth you have to remember that. So write in your notebook that properties of fluids. Properties of fluids, write down. It is a mass per unit volume. Density, first property is there. It is density. Okay. So density means what? It is mass per unit volume. Density is nothing but what? Mass per unit volume. So unit of density is kg per meter cube. Write down. Density means mass per unit volume. Write down. SI unit will be kg per meter cube. Then water density is 1000 kg per meter cube. Mercury density is coming as 13,600. You write down, not 5. 13,600 kg per meter cube. And air density generally we consider as a 1.2 kg per meter cube. So densities of gases here, they are a function of temperature and pressure, and they are compressible. Densities of liquid are nearly constant, incompressible for constant temperature. And another property is there, specific volume. So specific volume is what? Here volume per unit mass. I don't know. Specific volume is equal to volume per unit mass, or it is reciprocal of density. So in compressible fluids like steam, air, we are considering the here with property as a specific volume. You get answer. You की समझ लेक्चर. हाँ, सरने घेतला गेलता सरांची.
Hello, sir.
झुरकर सरांकडे गेलता काय? ठीक आहे. So density of
Hello, sir.
hello
So the density of water is equal to 1000 kilogram per meter cube है ना sir?
yes it is that only
Six-
that is a British unit, that is 62
Sir ते 62.41 आहे म्हणजे काय?
pounds per feet cube. It is a British unit, don't consider that unit. Hello.
Okay sir, okay.
It is not it is British unit, it is there. Okay, so only SI unit we have to consider henceforth. Hello. So
Okay,
water
sir, okay.
density is 1000 kg per meter cube. 1000 per in 1 meter cube volume. So how much water can be taken, or how much water can be accumulated is 1000. So it is density is nothing but what? Mass per unit volume. And write down this density we have to take into consideration always. Density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. Henceforth, it should be tip of your tongue. Density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. Density of mercury, it is solid, it is a liquid. Here, what mercury is solid, but in liquid state. Mercury is one of the exceptional case, that is solid, but it is in liquid state and having having density 13,600. You correct it, kg per meter cube. Then another property you write down, specific volume. So specific volume is what? Specific volume is nothing but what? It is the density volume per unit mass. Specific volume is nothing but what? Volume per unit mass, and it is reciprocal of density. The specific volume is what? Reciprocal of density. And what is unit for that? It is having unit meter cube per kg. Reciprocal of density means meter cube per kg. Okay. Then the density of a fluid is defined as mass per unit volume. Already it is denoted by Greek symbol rho. Okay, rho is equal to m upon v. M is mass and volume is v, and density of water is exactly it is 1998 kg per meter cube, and air is 1.2 kg per meter cube. If the density is constant, most liquid, the flow is incompressible. If the density varies, the flow is compressible. So deep density is varying, the fluids we are considering as a compressible. Although gases are easy to compress, the flow may be treated as incompressible if there are no larger fluctuations. So density, depending on the density, we can segregate whether the flow is incompressible or whether the flow is compressible. Then another property is there here. Density means what? Wood. Suppose that wood is having mass of 2 kg and volume is of 4000 centimeter cube. Then density is coming as mass upon volume. Then in that case, density will become 2 kg, 4000 centimeter cube. We have to convert it into meter cube. Okay. In that case, it is 4000 divided by 10 raised to 6. Okay, so it is 4000 into 10 raised to minus 6. So depending on that, these are the example we have to solve. So one example is that is lead is having mass density 11,300 kg per meter cube. Wood is having density 500 kg per meter cube. Okay, so depending on these calculations, we can calculate. So density, if you can calculate wood 2 kg divided by 4000 into 10 raised to minus 6. So it will become what? 500 kg per meter cube. So lead is one example is there. So this lead is 45.2 kg and volume is 4000 centimeter cube. Its density is coming as 11,300 kg per meter cube. So same mass, 2 kg mass of water wood we are taking lead, then its volume is required very less, where 177 centimeter cube. So for same mass of wood, if you take same mass of lead, volume will become very close because it is dense particles are there, weight will become more. Then volume of 4 kg of here, the volume of a 4 kg block of steel. Okay, so if density is given as 7 of the steel density is 7,800 kg per meter cube, and volume of a 4 kg block. So they are asking the calculate the volume. So rho is equal to m upon volume, mass upon volume. So volume is equal to m upon rho. M is 4 kg, that steel mass, and rho of that steel is 7800. Then volume occupied by that particular steel of 4 kg will be having density 7800 kg per meter cube. It will be here 5.13 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter cube. Then what is the mass if the volume is now? If the volume is 0.046 meter cube, for the same problem, if now they are giving volume, they are asking the mass. So this mass will become as density is equal to mass upon volume. Mass is equal to density into volume, and is equal to 7800 into 0.046. And it is coming as what? M is coming as 359 kg. 359 kg. Okay. So what is the mass if the volume is 0.046 meter cube? So M is equal to rho into V. Okay. Mass is coming as 360 kg, near about, or 359 kg. Everyone understanding these problems? Simple problems. So these, but here, if some mass they have given, volume they have given, we should calculate. We should be able to calculate density. If density is given, mass is given, we should be able to calculate volume. If mass rho is density is given, volume is given, we should be able to calculate mass. Only these formulas are there. Understanding? Please give chat.
Yes, sir.
Okay, or reply in the message box. Good. Those are giving me reply through by unmuting. No problem. So Nikita Pawar, Dikshad Mile, no problem. Pramod Avlikar, no problem. Good. Okay. Then specific volume and mass density we have completed. Now specific weight. Specific weight is nothing but here. Now it is nothing but what? Weight per unit volume. Specific weight, or it is called as weight density. Write down. Next property of the fluid is what? Specific weight or weight density of the fluid. So it is nothing but what? Weight per unit volume. Weight per unit volume. Specific weight or weight density is nothing but what? Weight per unit volume. So weight per unit volume is here. Write down specific weight. Now in our case we denote by letter W. Write down W, small w. Write down with me. So small w is specific weight, or it is called as weight density. It is defined as weight of a fluid, weight of a fluid divided by volume. So weight of a fluid divided by volume. So specific weight is equal to weight upon volume. Okay, and volume. Now weight per unit volume, specific weight. Now weight is equal to mass upon volume. Mass into acceleration due to gravity. Mass into acceleration due to gravity, G, divided by volume. Right, like with me. But mass upon volume is called as, anybody? Mass upon volume is called as density. So small w. So don't write this symbol. Write down our symbol. Small w is because specific properties are denoted by small letters, and weight is a capital letter. Weight is going to be the main property, and its specific weight is its unit property. Therefore, it is denoted by small w. So mass upon volume is equal to density rho. So we are having one relation. So this relation also we have to remember. So specific weight is equal to density into acceleration due to gravity. Everybody understand this? So weight W is equal to weight upon volume. So but weight is equal to mass into G. Okay. And in that case, so many students are, again, I am requesting many of you not to join in between, but still they are joining. So small w is equal to weight upon volume is equal to mass upon volume into g, and therefore small w is equal to here rho into g. So rho is density and g is acceleration due to gravity. Okay, mass upon, so relation is there. W is, specific weight is equal to rho into g. Then specific weight of water now here. So W of water. So our symbol is what? Not gamma here. W of water is coming as what? Here 998 is the density. So this is rho, and it is acceleration due to gravity is g. Now it is, we are considering 9.80 meter square per second. So specific weight of water is coming as what? 9,790 Newton per meter cube. So rho is outer. So if we know the density of any fluid, then specific weight can be calculated by using formula. Specific weight is equal to rho into g. So 998 into 9.80. So it is coming as what? 9,790 Newton per meter cube. Similarly, the specific weight, small w, we are using small w of air, specific weight of air is equal to again rho into g. Rho of, again rho into g. Rho of air is what? 1.205 kg per meter cube, and g value is constant, that is 9.80 meter square per second, and it is coming as 11.8 Newton per meter cube. Or if you take, for simplicity, if you take air generally roughly 1, then it is coming as what? 9.81 viscosity. It is coming as what? Final answer is 9.81. If you consider, generally we consider roughly 1, then it is coming as 9.81 Newton per meter cube. So this is about the specific weight or weight density. Anybody having problem? Understood? Write in chat box so that we can proceed. These are simple, but properties are understanding simple, but what? We should remember the formula. So okay, yes.
Understood, sir.
Okay, thank you. Then here another property is there. It is called as here specific gravity. It is called as what? Specific gravity. So specific gravity is what? For liquids, specific gravity is defined as density of that liquid divided by density of water. Density of that liquid divided by density of water. And for gases, it is defined as what? Sg of specific gravity of, or it is denoted by letter S. Letter specific gravity of liquids is nothing but what? Instead of that, we use S letter. So S of liquid, write down property. Specific gravity is equal to ratio of density of liquid, ratio of density of liquid to density of water. Density of liquid to density of water. So yes, liquid, specific gravity of liquid is coming as liquid, rho liquid divided by density of water, and density of water is we are considering as a 1000 kg per meter cube. Density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. Therefore, for water, the density, specific gravity of water will be what? Sg. Specific gravity of water will be equal to rho of liquid means rho of water only. Rho of water is 1000. So 1000 divided by 1000, it will be 1. So specific gravity of water will be 1, and it is having no unit. Remember that. It is here also unit will be kg per meter cube. Liquid unit is also kg per meter cube, and water specific gravity density is also unit is kg per meter cube. So both is having unit kg per meter cube. Therefore, it will get cancelled. So specific gravity is not having unit. Write down anywhere. So specific gravity is ratio of fluid density of the fluid to the density of water. Okay, and it is having no unit. So specific gravity of water is equal to 1. Specific gravity of mercury is equal to 13.55. But here we have considered density as a 13,550. But if you consider 13, in our books we have mentioned it as a 13,600 is the density of mercury. So therefore, yes, yes of mercury will come, Hg will come mercury means Hg is equal to 13,600 divided by water. Density of water is equal to 1000, and it will become what? 13.6. So here 13.6, because we are considering it as a 13,600, and here they are considering as a 13,550. So density of mercury is coming as what? Specific gravity of mercury is coming as 13.6. Anybody? Any doubt about this specific gravity?
No, sir.
Okay. So if we understood, then write down yes, so that we can proceed to next point. Okay, good. Then specific gravity. So definition: a ratio of density of a liquid to the density of water as a stand water. Definition 2: ratio of specific weight of a liquid to the specific weight of water. No problem. So if you consider ratio of density instead of density, if you consider specific weight, then here density instead of that our symbol we're using as a small w, specific weight, small w of liquid, specific weight divided by specific weight of water. Either it is ratio of density of liquid to the density of water, or specific weight of liquid to the specific weight of water. But if you consider rho of liquid here, denominator should be also rho of water. If you consider numerator rho of specific weight of liquid, and denominator also specific weight of water. The specific gravity, or it is also called another name, is relative density. Okay, so now the steel density, where the steel is having density here, steel having density 7,800, and relative density or specific gravity is coming as what? Rho divided by 1000. So 7,800 divided by 1000. So these two zeros will get cancelled. 78 divided by 10 is 7.80. Okay. Similarly, brass, specific gravity or relative density with respect to water, but with respect to water, it is 8.70, and it is 500. Wood, it is 0.50. 500 divided by 1000. So it is coming as 0.5. Then very much important property of the fluid is called as viscosity in fluid flow. Viscosity. So viscosity, we are before that only we have came across the term viscosity, and viscosity is nothing but what? Resistance for its own flow. Resistance for its own flow. So if the fluid is viscous, it is having more resistance to flow. For example, we can call it as a gum. Okay, then we can call it as a mud particles. So those fluids are having molecular distance very small. So those fluids is having more viscosity. The fluid which is having molecular distance is very less in between, specific molecular distance amongst themselves is less, and that fluids are called as here less viscous, considered as less viscous. So viscosity symbol is mu. Symbol is what? Mu. The viscosity is a measure of resistance to the fluid flow as a result of intermolecular cohesion. In other words, viscosity can be seen as an internal friction to fluid motion, which can lead to energy loss. So viscosity, due to viscosity, energy loss is occurring, and it is acting as a resistance for the flow. The different fluid perform at different rates under the same shear stress. The ease with which a fluid pours is an indication of its viscosity. Fluid with high viscosity, such as syrup, deforms more slowly than a fluid with low viscosity, such as water. Means if syrup means any cup syrup you take, and if cup syrup is fell, okay, on earth surface, then it moves slowly because it's having more viscous because its molecular distance is very less. But if you pour water as compared to as compared to syrup, it will flow with high velocity, little bit more velocity than that syrup because it is possessing less viscosity. The viscosity is also known as dynamic viscosity. So this mu is called as what? Dynamic viscosity, because this viscosity we are calculating during the motion. Therefore, it is called as what? Dynamic viscosity. Okay. So this is called as mu, and the unit of viscosity is Newton second per meter square. The unit of viscosity will be what? Newton second per meter square. This is having water viscosity is at standard temp condition 1.14 into 10 raised to minus 3 kg per or Newton second per meter square, or air is having 1.78 into 10 raised to 5 Newton second per meter square. Now viscosity. Now here it is what? Proportionality constant, dynamic absolute viscosity. So this is why here viscosity, Newton's law of viscosity I am denoting with the shear stress. So Newton's law of viscosity is what? Newton's law of viscosity is considered as shear stress tau is directly proportional to velocity gradient, and this is a velocity gradient dv by dy. So du or dv by dy. And if you want to remove this proportionality sign, so one constant we have to take into consideration, and that constant, so tau is equal to, in that case, shear stress tau. If you want to remove this proportionality sign, then one constant we have to take into consideration. It is called as mu, dynamic viscosity, and into the shear strain. The shear strain means what? It is also called as velocity gradient. So tau is directly proportional to here, or v. It is also v also or u. No velocity symbols you can consider as u or v. Okay. Okay. Tau into dv by dy is coming as tau is directly proportional to dv by dy. It will be Newton's law of viscosity, or tau is equal to mu into dv by dy. So this is velocity gradient. Means if you the fluid, we take the Newton has performed this experiment, he has considered this vertical distance and at the same time slope of that velocity. He has measured the velocity when a particular fluid is poured on the earth surface, then distance moved and velocity gradient. So dv by dy, change in velocity divided by change in distance. So that gradient is called as shear strain. Okay. So therefore tau is equal to mu into dv by dy. Therefore mu viscosity is, this is dynamic viscosity, mu is equal to tau divided by dv by dy. So unit is coming as what? Tau unit is Newton per meter square shear stress. Okay, divided by meter per second per meter, and if you do the mathematical adjustment, the unit is coming as Newton second per meter square. So therefore water mu is 1 into 10 raised to minus the earlier value. Then another viscosity is called as kinematic viscosity. So kinematic viscosity is defined as ratio of, so kinematic viscosity is denoted by letter nu. This is going to be symbol in our book, a Bansal book. This is going to be kinematic viscosity, and it is defined as ratio of dynamic viscosity divided by density. So nu is equal to what? Dynamic viscosity divided by density. And here from Newton's law of viscosity, this is called coefficient of viscosity. The distinction between solids and liquid lies in the manner in which each can resist shearing stress. Further distinction among various kinds of fluids are and solids is as in case of solid, shear stress depends on magnitude of deformation, but according to Newton's equation, viscosity, the shear stress is proportional to time rate or angular deformation. A fluid for which absolute viscosity does not change with rate of deformation is called as Newtonian fluid. Means that those fluids is having obeying or simply obeying the fluid which absolute viscosity changes with the rate of deformation is called as non-Newtonian fluid. Or in simple language, in our book language, your notes, whatever the book is there, the fluids which obey Newton's law of viscosity. For that, those fluids, tau is directly proportional to du by dv by dy. So those fluids are called as Newtonian fluids. And the fluids which cannot obey this law, that means rate is changes, not here. A fluid in which absolute viscosity changes with rate of deformation is called as non-Newtonian fluids. Okay. Then kinematic viscosity, absolute viscosity divided by density, mu is equal to nu is equal to mu upon rho. It is called so because force is not involved. The only ह्याच्यामध्ये force नसतो अजिबात. The unit will become now unit of viscosity will be found important cases. The unit dynamic viscosity is having unit meter square per second. How it is coming, I will show. So density, so nu unit, so we have to calculate the unit of mu, that is Newton second per meter square into, now division means reciprocal of reciprocal for multiplication. Okay, so here it will be rho is kg per meter cube, so it will become meter cube per kg. So this meter square and this 1 meter square will get cancelled. Remain is only meter. Okay. Now we have to write this Newton. This is kg is fundamental, meter is fundamental, second is also fundamental, but Newton is derived in it. And from which law it is derived? F is equal to, here I will be showing, F is equal to our Newton's second law of motion. F is equal to m, mass into acceleration. So if you consider this is unit is Newton, then mass unit is kg. So Newton in secondary dimensions, we can write in terms of fundamental dimension, this acceleration meter per second square. So with the help of fundamental units, derived units can be written in terms of fundamental units. So Newton is equal to, now in this case, it is equal to kg. Newton will replace by now kg per second square. Okay, into original 1 second is there, into here is 1 meter is remained, and here is kg. So this kg will get cancelled. It like 1 second is cancelled is 1 second, and unit of viscosity, kinematic viscosity is coming as meter square per second. Okay, so unit of meter square per second. So we'll found units here. Therefore, unit is coming as, how unit is coming as meter square per second. So we have applied these cases. Unit of dynamic viscosity divided by density. Okay, and afterwards Newton is a secondary unit. We have converted into primary unit, and we got the unit of the kinematic viscosity as a meter square per second. And here CGS unit will be centimeter square per second. Okay, so this is water in general. Viscosity of liquids with temperature. In general, viscosity of liquids with temperature changes with respect to temperature, whereas viscosity of gases within temperature or cannot change with temperature. So mu of a fluid, most fluids is virtually independent of pressure, independent of pressure, and nu of gases very strongly with pressure because of change in density. Now next class we'll start the numericals. Understood this unit of kinematic viscosity, dynamic viscosity. Again next class we'll go for revision. Understood? If you understand, then
Yes, sir. Understood.
write in message box. I am again. Okay, now we'll quickly go for the attendance.